Hit a record?
Yeah. Hey guys, welcome to the Slide Rule Football channel on YouTube with Theo
And Hakeem.
This is it, guys.
Finally, the sauce is here for you guys. It's been in the works for a while, and we have a lot in store that we really want to share with you.
And so lots of practice and many trials and
cross, but I can't seem to find.
So this being the first video on the channel, this will be more of an introductory episode where you guys get to learn about Slide Rule and also get to know us a little bit more.
Yeah, this will be a two-part intro series. We hope you enjoy it. Part 1, now. As you guys know, in typical YouTube fashion, remember to subscribe to the channel, leave comments, like all the videos, and
follow our social media pages. On Instagram is at Slide Rule Football and on Twitter at Slide Rule Footy.
So we'll just go right into it, right?
Yeah, we can go ahead and kick it off. So,
alright, first ever question on Slide Rule.
So, you've probably noticed now by the name, it's a football channel. We're going to be talking about football. Why Slide Rule? Well, a slide rule, as it's called, its official name, is in the United States or on the western part of the world known as a slipstick. It's actually an instrument used for calculations, and so pretty much it's like a ruler that has parts to it where you slide to do calculations. So like a calculator before.
So like a abacus type of thing.
we move. Slide rule as it relates to football. In the sport, football or soccer, if you want to call it that.
Soccer.
A slide rule pass is a really accurate pass, referencing again being accurate with a slide rule or slipstick. So we have a sample of a really accurate or slide rule pass. Yeah. So there's how it relates to football in a sense, as far as what we're going to be doing.
Yeah, and then as far as commentary, it's a term that's used a lot. When you watch football, just listen out for it. Whenever players, play passes, you will hear commentators say, "Oh, brilliant slide rule pass by this player, brilliant slide rule pass by that player," and usually attacking players play slide rule passes. That's usually the gist of it. We really like the term. I guess you'd say it's a colloquial term in football. Yeah, and we just decided to make it the name for the channel.
And you hear it a lot in FIFA too, and we play FIFA, so
we're inspired by that.
There's a slide rule pass, and it is the opening goal.
This is a passion we both share.
Yeah.
Being friends, being roommates. This is just something we wanted to broadcast and share with the public. Give our opinions. Hopefully we give factual opinions.
That don't make no sense.
You like?
So, oxymoronic. Factual opinions.
Factual opinions? What is that?
Well, seriously, we, as friends and being roommates, we watch a lot of football, not only for our teams, but football takes up a lot of our leisure time. We talk a lot about football, and we just figured, why not just start a channel?
For me, it's just something you can actually look back on probably 10, 15 years from now and be like, damn, I did that. I give it a try, something you love, you share with your family in the future as well. And, as Theo said, football takes up majority of our leisure time. So if we can pair YouTube with football and hopefully something good comes of it, and I think first and foremost, just enjoy doing this.
So for me, as far as I can remember, growing up in Jamaica, I was always interested in sport. I played, maybe not officially, but at some point I played just about every sport that I saw on TV. Figured I'd want to try it football was one of those big ones. Again, it's a big sport in Jamaica. For me, also a bonding thing with my father. I grew up watching football with my father a lot. One of my earliest football memories, which I still remember, is watching World Cup 2002. That World Cup was in Tokyo. And so
South
in Japan
Korea.
and South Korea.
Yeah.
So the matches were really early. And that was one of my memories as a youth, where I got up early, like, with my father to watch. That was like 6, 7 in the morning, actually. As a little youth, that's really
Pretty
early.
early, yeah.
But I got up to watch that match, and it was pretty memorable. In Senegal beat France 1-0 in that opening game. So big deal for me. I also played a little bit of football in school. Wasn't so great. I played more cricket. And then when I came here, I tried out for football, but I didn't really make it on the squad because I did kind of small. If you see pictures of me from high school, I'm still skinny, but
He needs some milk.
Man like Peter Crouch. Dog Morgan like Peter Crouch.
you that? But yeah, football's always been a big part of my life still, and it's just always been around too. I still watch a lot of it and play every now and then.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's definitely interest came from my father watching sports in general. And then also my father, as a youngster, my age now or younger, played every sport. So football, cricket, typical Jamaican youth. Those are the sports you're actively involved in. So my father always watched sports as well. So its general interest just came from watching and, also looking up to the players that play sports as well. So someday kind of in your head, you're just like, I want to be like them, because for a living, you get to play a sport kind of a thing. That was just a general thing. Didn't play much football, more than obviously school, lunchtime, after school, weekends,
Lunchtime ball, innit?
lunchtime ball, go back to class, green time. Green.
Green like the grass out the door.
Right? So that was one thing. Actually played cricket for most of, high school, and also started in primary school. Wasn't very good. Moved here, just still had that passion for sports in general. But just to sum it up, that influence mainly came from my dad watching it. So you can definitely say I've been watching football since TV have big body seats. When the TV used to nice and round around the back, you know what I mean? Flat.
Oh, you reached the sun.
When it heavy like Jada Kingdom.
No, but sure, it goes to show football was important, like sports as a youth in Jamaica still, because I remember one section of probably grade 3 where my teacher had put me to sit down at the same bench with a girl who me did really into it. And we just go class. Go class green.
Man, green, bro. Going to class.
I'm sit down at the bench still, so the whole time now. Couldn't lift up my arm, G.
I remember primary school at lunchtime playing ball, like you used to, have a, concept of when lunchtime will be over. So like 5-10 minutes before, when you sweat, we used to just take our shirts off and kind of just flush it out so the sweat or wring it out or just air it out before we go to class. So, go to class like extremely sweaty.
Bro, you might be dry, but there was no erasing that armpit.
I support Manchester United, biggest club in the UK.
Disappointment.
Most successful club, most historic club. The standard for a football club. And
we have more major trophies, but if you want to go in just Premier League, sure, you can have it. You guys have one more.
And Theo supports Liverpool, the enemy. So
big side.
as we get into the channel more, you will realize that Man United and Liverpool, they are very big rivals, especially when it comes to the Premier League in England in general. So both teams always are comparing to each other. So you will realize about how I started to support. As I said in the last question, my dad supports Manchester United. Whenever he tells me how he started supporting, he'd always reference like, yeah, back in the days on TV in Jamaica, the Premier League wasn't as accessible as it is now. So every week you could watch the you can watch the Premier League now. Back then, CVM or TVJ would show a league game that was played like 2 weeks ago. And that was when he would get to watch and stuff like that. So, obviously growing up, when, you finally have cable and Sportsmax came around, CVM would show like La Liga as well, and show a lot of games. Those were the games he was watching. He was always watching Manchester United games. So by default, I guess I started supporting Manchester United. I guess you can say I've been a fan of the club over 15 years now.
I'm a Liverpool supporter. You will never walk alone. Can't be honest. How I started supporting Liverpool, I think, so my story isn't as glamorous as yours.
You're the man.
I didn't really watch a lot of Premier League growing up just because it wasn't accessible to me. Like where I was in Jamaica, we never have cable, really. And CVM at the time showed a lot of La Liga games. But every now and then, I would catch a Premier League match. A lot of times it was Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester United, the typical big teams in the Premier League.
Typical teams that Jamaicans support.
Yeah, and my cousin Jelani was one of those people I looked up to, a really smart person. I think. So when he moved to Miami too, I started watching football again, and he's a big Liverpool fan. And then by watching football with him, I started watching more and more Liverpool games and finally cemented that as my team. And I became a fan. I didn't really know anything about the history of the club or anything like that. When I became a fan, this was during the 2010 to that really poor period.
Times.
The club was being poorly run. We were finishing 6th to 8th in the table. And so I definitely came in during the rough time. So I will take no talk from anybody that says I'm a bandwagonist or anything like that. But anyway, at this point, that's my club and that's who I really support. Favorite player on my team? It's actually pretty easy. The one person whose number I actually have on one of my shirts is Sadio Mane. I know as Black Flash Sadio. Sadio is a really good player, one of the best on the team, if not the best at this point. You will say Salah. I don't dislike Salah, but I just prefer Mane as a player. The Mane is a really humble person as well. He's really cool. Seems like the kind of person you can just meet and talk to. Like a genuinely nice person. Also very skillful. Is fast and love speed. You want speed? I like Mane though. The guy's a really cool technical player. Does a lot for the team that goes unseen sometimes if he's not scored. But like Firmino, who does so much hard work, Mane is one of those players you don't really see who tracks back up front is deadly. A little bit over extravagant at times, going for shots that he shouldn't, like overhead kicks.
Yeah.
And one day he will make one. He will make one day. But sometimes he does some of those things that you wonder, Sadio, come on.
Player I respect.
But I think he's a really cool player now and is now starting to get the kind of recognition, respect that he deserves as a player.
If you know me on Twitter, you know Martial FC, right? Anthony Martial, 50 mil down the drain. Tony Martial scores again and again. And
top player.
Yeah, I think one of the things for me is the jersey I'm wearing now was actually from the first season that he arrived at the club. And when the speculation was going on saying, oh, United signed a teenage striker from Monaco, go up the next Thierry Henry kind of thing, and you kind of don't know what you're going to get from a young player. I watched him once before when Monaco played Arsenal in the Champions League, when they actually destroyed Arsenal in the Champions League. I think at that time Berbatov was playing for Monaco as well. And it was Berbatov, Martial, and I think Carrasco. And they absolutely destroyed Arsenal. So when he came to United, I didn't know much about him besides that. But immediately became my favorite player, scoring against the old rivals, Liverpool, dancing past multiple defenders, and with the Henry finish. And I think for me, it's just the flair of it. And also, I think
That's a moment I like to remember.
yeah, I think he's misunderstood. And then I think one of the things, as the great philosopher Little Wayne said, so misunderstood. But what's the world without enigma, right? So the great philosopher. And I think one of the things is, I personally think 2 years of his career was wasted under Mourinho. I like Mourinho as a manager. I think he's past his best as a manager, but definitely wasted 2 years. His first year, Martial scored 17 goals. Next season, stripped off his jersey number. Yes, I think he can play on the left. I think he can play on the left and also up front, but definitely wasn't getting any game time. And now this past season is our top scorer, doing well, and yet still people still give him flack. So part of why I guess it's ratings for Martial has skyrocketed is because of the disrespect. Yes. Easy one for me. The God, CR7, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Should have known that one.
Greatest player of all time, GOAT Ronaldo.
You're the man.
Right? And again, this kind of goes back to the history of where when I started supporting Man United was the season that Ronaldo actually signed. So, no, it was the season after he signed. So he signed the year before, and then Rooney signed the season. I started supporting, and he was a right winger. He came in no flair, lots of flair needed, and I think one of the things that he was fearless. He would play in big games. He played in a big FA Cup final. As a right winger, a lot of press would be like, "Oh, this guy's all step overs, no end product," and from that, his career, his career just escalated through the roof. He's more of a goal scoring machine. And I think the thing that drives, and again, my ratings for Ronaldo is the determination to want to be the best at everything. And that I think is contagious for other players on his team. And also supporters, because you see a guy that now at age 35 is still scoring 40 goals a season, still playing 90 minutes week in, week out. And being honest with you, as great as his goal scoring stats have been since he left Real Madrid, as far as a complete player, I think he was at his most complete best at Man United.
For me, not so straightforward. That's kind of tough. As
don't say Henderson, bro.
What do you have against Henderson?
Bro, please don't say Henderson.
What are you gonna do with Mr. Henderson? Stop the recording.
Stop recording if this man says Henderson, right?
Henderson, bro. Jordan Henderson. No, but honestly, it's tough because a man like John Barnes, who I won't pick because I didn't really grow up watching John Barnes, but seeing highlights of John Barnes, the man was a baller, and he is also Jamaican. We also have Sterling, who is one of my favorite players now, also Jamaican. At the Jamaican connection, growing up, I would always root for the younger ballers because, being a young person at the time, you kind of relate more with
More
those
with the
people.
younger players,
And
yeah.
Sterling is, when I really started watching Liverpool again, was at the beginning of his career, and I really wanted him to do well. Then found out he was Jamaican, and was like, cool, now I definitely rate this boy.
Yeah.
And then just as he was starting to do really well, had the whole fiasco with Brendan Rodgers and ended up leaving the club. So Sterling is in for a show. Suarez also, but I think I'll probably go with Fernando Torres though.
Interesting.
Torres was
Next level.
at Liverpool.
Next level Torres.
Like the man was just basically give him the ball near the box when he was at Liverpool, and he would make it happen. He scored so many brilliant goals. I remember the first one he scored for the club.
Chelsea, bro.
Absolute.
That burst of
Banger.
speed, bro.
Alright guys, this is the end of part 1 of our part 2 intro series, the first video on our channel.
Guys, if you've made it this far, thank you so much. We really, really appreciate it. But before you go, guys, remember to subscribe to the channel, like, comment, and share the video. Also, follow us on our socials. Links are in the video description.
Alright, so we've got part 2 coming up for you very, very soon, so make sure you look out for that. Until next time, slide rule out.